you guys ready to see the airplane I picked for this week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, so background, it's black and white.
Right.
So it's old. So let's see who can get the airplane first.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm so excited.
I know, dude. You started a thing.
A6M0.
Dang, he's good. Nice job, guys.
Good job, dude. Very
All right,
nice.
anything come to
Made
mind?
by the same company that makes cars that I call vagina cars.
Mitsubishis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Mitsubishi. Like the Eclipse.
Absolutely,
You
dude.
remember the commercial?
No,
It was totally targeted for women, and they're like in the Mitsubishi Eclipse, and they're like, "Yeah, just getting it, man. Going to the club."
I think I remember this one, dude.
So what is that the first thing that comes to mind when you see that airplane, or is there anything specific?
No,
about
when I
that
see the
airplane when you see
Mitsubishi Eclipse on the road,
Okay.
I think of all the kamikazes. So I'm like, get away from that car.
Right, yeah. Well, and if it's chicks driving it, then it's probably about to happen anyway.
I'm like, oh my God. Please help me. Hey guys, hold on. Can I please give a disclaimer on this freaking voice of mine? I don't know what's going on. My entire family's been running through some stuff. I don't know exactly what's going on. My voice is like Kermit the Frog.
I was about to say, it sounds like your family's been running through the Kermit the Frog.
It's like Kermit. It's
Imitation
like
routine.
Kermit the Frog meets like the Penetrator or whatever, or Terminator, whatever. You know,
Kermit the Frog meets GP the douchebag.
yeah. I'm sorry about this, but you know what? I'm here for the pod because I want to be here,
I'm gonna try and get this out quick. You know what I'm
and
saying?
I've got one sitting in the hopper still. So
Oh, he just made a
Get it to
paintball
me.
reference. He just made a paintball reference.
yeah,
I'm about to play paintball next week.
like that one I told
We're
you.
too old for paintball.
Like I still haven't put it out. So like as far as Spotify goes, I could just pop that out.
Boop, boop, boop. Let's just do it.
All right.
Let's just do it, dude. No, I'm about to play paintball next week.
All right. Well, perfect. And speaking of guns, we are getting back to pick 3 this
Pick
week,
3.
which I'm very excited about. We talked about it, and yeah, super excited. I guess I need to have a conversation with Pifty.
Yeah, we'll go to Segi and
Yeah, you got it.
take
We
You
can
got
do
it.
that.
You got it.
Yeah. Also have some dad jokes. I've got a couple of them.
I got to
Hold
say,
up.
man, pulling out the A6M0 though,
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good pull.
like that's nice.
Because
that
I'm
is
looking
nice.
at this and I'm going,
It could be a Val, right?
yeah, but I was looking at it and I'm thinking U.S. military aircraft. And so
He flipped the script on you.
when he pulled it up, I'm
Yeah.
going, what the? What?
You're welcome.
I mean, just look at the big,
Good pull.
gigantic zeros on it, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, Japanese flag.
Sorry, I'm sorry to any of you Japanese listeners. It's a rising sun. All you Japanese that wanted to fucking kill us.
How hilarious would it be, dude, if they were like, actually, no, we like this airplane so much that we're putting a zero on our
The
flag.
Japanese are wonderful people. I was just kidding.
For sure.
I mean, but back in the 1940s, I wasn't kidding. Like, I'm sure my grandfather was like, screw these guys, you know.
Yeah, they were a bit of a scarlet letter people at that point.
Yeah, but now, like,
You know?
the Japanese are like some of our best allies in the Pacific. Like, our only ally other than the Philippines.
For sure. And well, like, what's the Philippines going to do for you, really?
Yeah.
But,
They'll just kill you if you have marijuana.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Just ask who's that NBA chick. Oh, wait, no, that was Russia.
That was
Never
Russia.
mind.
That
mind.
too, but
That, yeah.
that was political.
But
The play on words with NBA chick, because she plays in the WNBA.
WNBA.
But people think she's a dude.
Hey, remember when we talked
So
about the Boy Scouts a couple?
Maybe she should play on LeBron's team.
We
that
talked.
Trump talked about a couple weeks
Dude,
ago.
I don't think I heard that.
Dude, I talked about it on the pod.
What? Oh,
Like Trump was like, "Hey
Yeah.
man, let's get all these trainees and
Yes,
LeBron
yeah.
James, and they're gonna just have a team, right?" And that chick can be on it, dude. I mean, I don't even know if she has a penis or not, but she's welcome.
to be honest, she looks like she has a penis.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner. Yeah,
And
that's right.
we love you, Brittany. This is not. We're not trying to rip your.
Hey,
You
I
know.
still think
I mean,
Marcus Cousins would have ran through her if they did the one-on-one.
well, we love you because you're a patriot. because
That's right.
You got out of Russia.
Some people say that actually the cause. Look, we love you, Brittany Wiener. We love you. All right?
Brittany Wiener.
All right,
Hey,
canceled.
Hold on. Now, do you think
During
do you
Gay
think
Pride
Vladimir
Month, man,
Putin?
come on.
Do you think do you think Vladimir Putin actually took
Hit that?
Brittany Griner's dick?
Once Putin was done, he was like, "All right,
That was pretty good.
get out of here, dude.
You can go back to the
Okay,
U.S.
and intro. All right.
Get out of here, dude."
Look, man, I'm full of spice, man. We haven't been
No
together in a
doubt.
couple of
Dude,
weeks. I'm ready to
Fired
go.
up.
Yeah.
Man, just fired up.
Thank you for the Mitsubishi Zero, dude.
Yeah, that was
Appreciate
sick.
it. Yeah.
Let's get these Mitsubishi Eclipses and do some dive bombing.
Dive bombing.
You might not come back from that. Actually, the history behind the Zero, if you look into like the development of the Japanese war machine,
Right.
is awesome because that was what they thought could defeat the United States.
The Zero.
Yeah, because we actually at the beginning of the war in the
Right.
Pacific didn't have a carrier based.
They dominated. us
Right,
with
they
that.
did. They did not have the United States did not have a carrier based aircraft that could beat the Zero,
Right.
and it took a while.
We didn't until
Right.
the Corsair or the
Well,
Thunderbolt?
I mean, the Corsair was, but then there was like the F6F, like the F4F. Was
okay, yeah.
F4F was going up against it, and
Right.
and the Buffalo, and they were getting just knocked out of the sky.
for sure.
And then they came up with the F6F, which did a little bit better.
Yep,
The F8F, which was like so super dominant, the Bearcat,
for sure.
but that was at the end of the war. And so like the Corsair was kind of like the in between, and the Corsair, of course, was great
Yeah.
in aerial battle. But man, at the beginning of the war, though, the Zero just freaking kicked.
Because it was the TDM Avenger.
It was It was lightweight. It could outclimb us,
Outmaneuver.
outmaneuver us, and it was now if you got a shot on it, it was paper thin.
for sure.
You can shoot it down.
But good luck getting a
But,
shot.
yeah, but our shit was so heavy, we couldn't climb.
That's
we
right.
couldn't maneuver, and it was just like, well, all right, we're going down again.
For sure.
Like that was like the first 2 years of the war in the Pacific.
Because it was the TDM Avenger.
Well, the Avenger was strictly an attack role.
No, but they had to use it. They had to use the Avenger as a dogfighting aircraft because that's all they had.
You
for a
probably
time.
had losses of like 15-1.
It was insane.
Yeah.
They were getting completely annihilated.
I mean, I guess if you're on an aircraft carrier and you have a squadron you can put up as
Right.
defense,
you have to put it
you
up.
just put up whatever you got.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we got B-25s?
Good luck, tail gunners.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
We got B-25s against a fleet of 1,000 Zeros?
Yeah.
Well, you got to send them.
The Zeros,
You got to send
the
it.
Zeros destroyed us at the beginning.
For sure.
And then like American ingenuity and engineering prevailed
Yeah.
because we weren't like too concerned with like transgenders in the military at that point. We were just like more worried about like defeating the enemy.
Japan, if you want us, come and get us now because
It's going to get bad here in
that's all we
about
care about.
80 years.
That's all we care about.
All right, enough with that.
Yeah. All right, get in here. It's the
Thank
pod.
you, 50.
It's the Purvcast. Guys, glad to
Give
have
it
you
to me
back.
one more time. I need to hear that again.
Get in here. It's the pod. The
I like
Purvcast.
that. I like that. That's really good.
Yeah.
I love that.
You dig that?
All day.
Heck yeah, dude.
Good job.
No, thank
I've
you.
been waiting for that for
That's
like
the juice that I
months.
needed to put into it for a long time, for sure. Stoked to be back in it, though. If you guys haven't seen, go watch last episode with Mr. Larry Steptoe.
Oh,
It was
man.
a Q&A episode.
Talk about
It'll-
inspiring, man.
dude, inspiring. It'll fire you up. That episode, I would say, has literally like kept me rolling on some days where
Yeah.
you're just like, it's just not going right today. And then you listen to that and it just gets you back in the zone to go, dude, you can climb out.
Yeah,
You know,
and
whatever it is.
It's like insane perspective, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's the guy that has maybe, I mean, one of the guys that has the most perspective
Yeah.
of people that I know because
Absolutely.
of what he has been a part of. Check out that episode. That was awesome.
He's going to be back, too.
He's going to be back, and actually the next one
we're like super excited about that
for sure. I think real soon what I want to do is I want to have Larry Love and Adrian, the protector of nukes, come in and
just sit down and do like a conversation.
Just sit here and go.
I love it
because they're both like fluid and easy to listen to, and just kind of I
think that'd be great.
So that's coming up soon, but this week is about Purvcast.
And I know that we've like dilly-dallied for a while. We've got a little bit of pick 3 to finish up.
We do.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I'm stoked. I do have to say, and I will probably actually cry a little bit about this at some point.
Yeah.
But I think that we owe it to producer man Pifty, who has been an absolute stud.
Yeah.
He's incredible at doing this.
Just like next level, dude.
For sure. It's the confidence of having him be there has been incredible. Not to mention we talked like it was just so nice to reconnect with one of my closest friends from high school.
Absolutely.
So, Pifty, you've done an incredible job. Congratulations on the new job. We love you. And I also told him, dude, you know where we're at. Please, if you've got an evening sometime, be like, hey, man, what you doing? You want to shoot a little podcast and I can tell you about my new gig, you know?
And I know you guys haven't heard a whole lot. Like occasionally he'll like insert an extremely insightful comment in there or something like that. He's laughing right now. He always laughs at me when I say stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
because it's always dumb.
Yeah, true. Hey, that's what I count on. You know, that's my meter right over there.
Yeah. No, that is something actually. Like whenever you know something's good, there's noise coming from over there. Or if you hear all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, all right, shut up.
Or a big rabbit hole written somewhere on the note on the screen.
All day.
Yeah.
Please and just like the research and follow up and everything. Like I have to say, like I'm gonna miss our boy Pifty, but like you kind of brought like maybe the next expectation for us to the podcast, and the next producer that we have that's as good as you is probably gonna have to get paid.
I told him earlier. I was like, dude, you got to leave for now.
Yeah,
I get it, but don't forget, the goal has always been make enough money to pay him.
yeah. Make enough money to get this dude over here.
Right.
No, but seriously, man, Pifty, man, thank you so much for everything you've done. Congratulations on the new gig.
Absolutely.
And I will miss having you here, and every single second that you've been sitting in that producer chair has been awesome for us. So thank you so much.
Thanks. It's been a privilege to be here. I appreciate hanging out with you guys.
Absolutely.
And I will make nonstop complaint letters sent to your new place of work. It's gonna happen,
dude. Like I've got like a lot of money sitting in my retirement account. Should we just like go ahead and make an offer right now to Pifty to keep him? To keep
$1 million.
That's right. I know I'm not getting any money off this podcast, but we really need you. So
for sure, dude.
Man, seriously though, but thank you so much. Sad to lose you, but great job, and also congratulations.
For sure. Got to do what you got to do.
Great job on the airplanes.
Yeah, you're killing it, dude. We're gonna. Have
I still have a plan, so I've got two or so more weeks after this. I still have a plan to come up with a aircraft quiz.
All right,
for you guys.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait.
I have ideas rolling around my head.
Like if you go vintage, I win. If you go like modern aircraft, like obscure aircraft, he probably wins.
It's got to be a mix. It's got to be a mix of the two. But I mean, if I could throw Ethan off with just a Japanese aircraft, then I think we have a shot.
You're going all Japanese.
You ain't gonna get me, dude. You ain't gonna keep me down.
Ethan, like for the next week, is just like in his every spare moment he has is researching Japanese aircraft,
just studying nonstop.
He will go down into it, and then Grant will sit over there in his bag and just beat him to every punch on the quiz. So it works out.
No, that won't happen.
All right, well, we shall see.
I shall win, dude.
Okay.
Coming soon.
I like that idea. We'll do that.
It'll be a competition. I'll make it up to where it's like one versus the other.
Okay.
We'll do something.
Yeah.
And remember, we still got to go at some point before you get out of here. We have to go guess the punchline. Whoever loses has to go do stand-up
Has to do a stand-up.
at the open mic in
Oh,
Springfield.
boy.
I have not forgotten about that. So, remember, we got to do that before you get out of here. Because we're probably going to end up with some absolute dingus in here after you.
It's not.
Gonna...
It's not.
Can I give a real quick shout out to one of our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he said that his social is at shitty fart butt. I don't believe that. He said, I swear.
I hope that's right.
I said, okay, well, we're going to give a shout out to you. I said, what's your socials? He said, at shitty fart butt. Anyway, but I still have to do it because I don't believe that's true. I think he's trying to hide his identity. But he wanted to tell us based on...
Is this Edward Snowden?
Yeah, totally.
No, it's just Ethan on his burner account.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One of my burner accounts.
But this is pretty good because we did the hunting pick 3.
Yeah.
I think that was our last pick 3, actually.
Yep.
And he wanted to just sound off and give his top 3 hunting pick 3. And he just did this voluntarily. Like, we didn't ask listeners to.
Okay, just out of
do anything.
nowhere.
And since he actually, obviously, doesn't have socials,
Right, yeah.
he texted it to me. But I thought, you know what? Thanks for listening. And I'm going to put it on there. So it's Jeff. Jeff, you know who you are. Thanks, man.
Thank you, shitty fart butt.
Yes.
We appreciate
Shitty
you.
fart butt. So his top 3 on hunting was a Remington 870 12 gauge.
Okay. Must be a foul hunter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, hunting whatever.
That's the most versatile
True.
weapon
Absolutely.
next to an AR. Yeah.
The 870 12 gauge.
They called it a Wingmaster. Some of them were called a Wingmaster, but the Remington 870 was a beast of a shotgun.
Yeah. And then the Ruger 10
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
So,
For
you know, he said, like, this is super versatile, absolutely survival, whatever you need, you know.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Winchester 70 270.
Okay.
And you know, so he said like those are his top 3. He did not actually put them in order.
He just said these are the 3.
These are my top 3.
Sweet.
And he actually, we were doing self-defense today.
Yeah.
He proactively
Oh.
sent me his self-defense. So I feel like as a ode to Jeff for being such a loyal listener, we should probably mention those when we get into that. But
Absolutely,
I just wanted to say thank you, Jeff, for listening, and thank you for sending your hunting. And if anybody else, when they're listening to this pod, if they'll send us or spend the time to have a reply or send a text message to any of us, like, we're going to put it out there.
Holler
Because,
at your
like,
boys,
We
yeah.
appreciate you, like, being invested enough to actually care to send it to us. So
For sure.
thanks a
Yeah.
lot.
We dig it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Big time. So it looks like this week it's going to be pick 3, me and Jeff. Is what it sounds like. What language, and this isn't a joke, this isn't a dad joke, this is literally just like a curious thought,
Right.
that, a conversation that I was having.
Please give it to me.
What language do deaf people think in? This is a pure curiosity thing. This is wild.
Pretty good.
Okay. And the thing that I thought,
Like, have they been deaf from birth?
that was the thing. Somebody that's
Okay.
deaf from birth, what language do they think in? And my thought
Alien.
it's obviously
Right.
something like that, obviously. No, what I thought was it's got to be pictures.
Okay.
That has to be their language.
But you're assuming they can see.
Well, yeah, it's set in a Helen Keller situation. Like, it's...
Just go ahead. I'm not even going there. That was a horrible. Nope. Just keep going. I'm done. Nope.
No, I'm not going to do it
Yep.
either.
Nope.
What do you... Let's hear your Helen Keller.
So they can see. So they can see, right?
They can see.
So what language?
Yeah.
Whatever language they can see. You didn't say what voice. You said what language.
Okay.
So if they live in Japan and they're deaf from birth,
They
can
could
think in
read
Japan.
Japanese.
What language? I feel like the question answers itself.
But does sign language translate to written word though?
That was the other thing.
That's
well,
the other
every
thing.
word has its
sign.
Like it has its equivalent. It may not be the exact same. It's like the translation of the Bible.
Okay.
Right. So you may have quite a few different translations of the same word. Right.
Okay.
So
it's like a generalization.
The alphabet's the same.
Right.
So like if somebody signed the alphabet's the same. So I guess I'm like, if they grow up seeing English, like if you look at create on the wall, that's English.
And there's a sign
what
for that.
Voice do they hear?
Okay.
I think is a better question.
Yeah, maybe what voice do they hear, but then
they
also
don't know feminine versus masculine.
True. The other aspect of it was maybe what I should say is, what form do deaf people think in? Because, like, if I look at you, I've known you my whole life. I can see you when I look at you. If I were,
dude, I've got the perfect answer to your question already.
Okay, hold on. I know what you sound like. Well, I did until today.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Oh, hey, buddy.
I don't know, man. I guess it's actually a really interesting topic for blind people too. Like, what do people, when I look at you, what would I see?
Okay.
When I look at you, I don't have any reference.
As far as a deaf person goes, I think I can answer this question.
Okay.
Fairly easily. And that is, have you ever been in a text conversation with someone? Okay.
Yeah.
And
no, I haven't actually.
And they shut up. and they say something, right?
Right.
And you're like, wow, what a douchebag, right? Like, hold on. I have a point. 50, shut the hell up.
Stop doing what you're supposed to do. Okay?
Quit laughing at me as always.
All right. Yes, I have texted with you plenty of times.
Okay, but hold on. Have you ever thought when you looked at a text, you're like, man, what a douchebag. Shut the hell up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you didn't get the tone, right?
Right.
It was tone deaf.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you right now, and I'm telling you this based on text messages between me and Stacy, my wife.
Yeah.
There have been times when I texted her something and she was like, wow, way to be a douche. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh.
I just said I love you.
I was trying to say,
what are you talking about?
If you want to get the turkey, that's cool. Like, that's what I just said. And you said I was being a douche. So it's like,
you guys were going bowling.
She must have been driving.
Yeah.
No, dude. Pifty's been listening to the pod. He knows.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, has that ever happened to you or you, Pifty, when you've been texting someone and the tone of the conversation was totally lost because it was just a text, and they heard it in their own head when they read that?
For sure.
Something totally different than how you were trying to portray it. Right?
It's no context is basically what it is.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
Pifty.
So they see these words or they see the symbols, but maybe
it's
have
like
a tough time grabbing.
It's like being blind to the nuance of audio. Right?
Right.
So like if you can see, like, okay, someone's deaf, they read something, right?
Right.
But they don't kind of get the feeling in which it was created, which is one of the beautiful things about the spoken word.
Right.
Right? That's our gig. Is a spoken word. Like, you hear me right now with this raspy voice, and you're
unfortunately,
like, and this mother this guy, you know. But like, you go back to another pod and you're like, who is this guy? You know, so like there's nuance there.
There is nuance there. I've also heard that like people that are missing one kind of sense, like sight or sound or hearing, whatever it might be, all their other senses enhance.
Okay.
And so they get drastically stronger at the other ones.
So someone that's deaf could probably read someone's facial expressions like
that's what
really good.
That's what I was going to say, right? So like body language.
Pifty's laughing.
The best example of this is to watch the sign language translator for President Biden.
Okay.
Because the nonverbals are what the deaf people are keying into. So, like, where you give sarcasm off of voice,
Got a question.
they're getting
Facts only.
getting nonverbals
Actually,
Okay.
from the facial expressions, from the mannerisms in which the gesture, the sign is being given.
How do you do sign language on like a 19-syllable word that's like
Which is why you need to watch
what
it.
Joe Biden does?
I will find a clip.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, well, here's a point
right.
for you. Okay.
Thank you, Pifty.
I get what you're saying, dude. All right.
Well,
so,
how confusing must it be?
if we're hanging out and I'm, rolling by, we're on a job
Yeah.
site or something, working together, and I
Yeah.
go, "Hey, what's up, dog?" And I do this. I'm like, love you, bro.
yeah, good on you, bro. Like
if-
right back at you, man.
What if I do this?
Suck my sausage.
Okay. What if I do this?
Well, okay.
Is that not a? There's
It's the same gesture,
right.
totally different nuance.
That's what he's saying. It's nonverbal nuance
Right.
that is being. I don't even know what we're talking about
So
anymore.
just pay attention to the sign language interpreter at the top, and this might be a good example.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Look at her face.
She cannot
You see how
figure it
confused
out.
she looks?
Yep. She's not.
The deaf person is catching up, like is following all of those things, because she's now looking up at him going, what are you saying?
No doubt. Wow. So it sounds to me like the answer is if a deaf person hears or they think.
Hold on. Should deaf people be allowed to vote in the next election? That's so mean, but
Yikes,
seriously.
dude.
Hey,
This
based
is
off
what they're
Yikes, dude.
basing. This is their basing their decisions off of someone they can't even understand what the person.
Actually, I think they should because
I'm
they're
sorry.
like,
my voice is cracking.
if
Like Joe Biden.
puberty's tough, dude. Here's the thing. If,
My goodness.
I think they should be able to vote, at least in this election, because whenever they have somebody else that's like talking to them, right, and communicating, they're like, "Do you see that video?" And they go, "Yeah." He said, "Seagulls, ice cream, butt cheeks."
Dude, look at this guy. He's struggling. He keeps going like this.
This is the most famous one that Biden has done. So sorry to cut you off, Ethan.
No,
this
you're
is
good.
This is the one. As soon as I can figure out how to get it back to the beginning. So remember the under pressure.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking
yeah.
This is
about.
the one.
Like when we
This is the
started this
one.
conversation.
Let me see if I can get audio with it too.
Look, I'll do what he's unable to do. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. I'll do what he's unable to do.
He goes
I'll
like
lead an
this.
effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Dude, you gotta link this video to the to our YouTube, dude.
I'm actually gonna.
Pressure.
I'm actually gonna cut that and put it in
Oh, that's so good.
the video. Oh my god!
Hey, like, look, I love Joe Biden. He makes me laugh a lot.
He is funny. Boy, if it wasn't for his sense of humor, he'd had no sense at all.
I mean, yeah. I'm probably not gonna vote for him.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying on this podcast who I'm voting for all those people on YouTube that want, or whoever that wants to like take us down for, mentioning Joe Biden's name.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm going to vote for any of his people,
Raise the roof.
contenders or otherwise.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying, thanks a lot for giving us some entertainment, man.
Yeah, that's funny. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we probably shouldn't go down.
we
this
need
road.
to stop.
Yeah.
We need to stop. We're like,
I had
So
so much
hungry.
more to
38
yeah.
minutes. We can segment out of it.
All right.
Okay.
Are we segging?
It's up to you.
38. Hey, hold on.
Go to dad jokes.
Pull-
I don't care.
Pull up that piece of paper right there.
yeah,
Where are we at? What are we covering?
39 minutes.
Give it to me. Yeah. All right.
All right, no, we're gonna do got a couple different things, and if
Right.
we move fast through a
Yeah.
couple of these, and I can just give you dad jokes
Yeah.
this week. That's not a big deal.
I mean,
Got some dad
I got a
jokes.
couple, but like
Okay.
wherever you want to go to.
The other thing we had was famous brothers. Got a whole list of famous brothers, right? Who's the best? And then of course
I
we
like that
and then of course we got pick 3
because we're brothers.
We're brothers
brothers
for sure.
I mean, hey man,
Seggy out.
you know
jump
what?
Back in.
If you want to seggy out, we can organize our thoughts and decide what we want to do. That's good. That's
you
good
need
with
to
me.
talk with him.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
got to be honest with you guys. I'm from the sounds of y'all's conversation, I'm not going to be an excellent representation for this pick 3.
I can help you.
I need it,
Dude,
I'm gonna need
I'm presenting to you.
it. No. I know you're presenting to me, but all I mean is I'm not going to have a lot of information or facts to add because I guess I just haven't put the time.
Hey, self-defense means I need to kill people.
No, and I got the stuff that I need to do that. You know what I mean? I just didn't go beyond that.
I have a little cousin. She's not little anymore. She's in her mid-20s. She just got married. And the guy, we were walking through Bass Pro Shop in Memphis over the weekend. And he was like, hey, I need a new holster, like a concealed carry holster for my pistol. And I was like, okay, what kind of pistol do you have? And he goes, 9mm. I was like, do you know what brand it is? He was like, no. I was like, you know what? Since COVID, those type of people have grown drastically.
Exponentially. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People saying, you know what? I am tired of outsourcing my personal defense and security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to know what brand their gun is, but if they're comfortable with it and they feel like they could go to it in the sense of in a time of emergency, rock with it, dude.
For sure. Yeah.
How long does it
That's-
take you to pull your... Go ahead and start recording.
We are recording.
Okay. I was going to say, how long does it take
Cameras rolling.
for the
Yep.
cops to show up when you have an emergency?
In
on-
the
on-
state of
on
Missouri,
average?
it's a 3-minute response time usually,
Yeah. I mean, in the United States, I think it's like 15 minutes.
like 11 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, is like the average. And how long, if you're trained, you know what you're doing, and you're comfortable with it, you're not going to like freak out and shoot your toe, right?
Right.
How long does it take you to bring that weapon up?
From a dead sleep, like we're talking about at night.
Yeah.
Well, the average time
20 seconds?
This is an actual data point. The average time from an intruder to enter your home and get to your bedside is 7 seconds. So you're telling me you have to have enough of an alert to wake yourself out of a deep sleep
7 seconds.
to recognize what's going on,
Dadgum.
How
and then
the
get
fuck
your
do they
firearm.
get to your bedside? I can't.
This is an actual data point, actual training. point
I
that
don't.
they're teaching
I'm
people is
not
7
saying.
seconds.
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, from my own house, I couldn't get from my front door to my bedside in 7 seconds.
Well, dude, it's
If I was
probably
running.
I would guess that a lot of the times these
It's a huge house, man. It's a freaking palatial estate.
35,000 square feet. You trying to get across that house in 7 seconds?
The thing is, like, I know where I'm going. That person doesn't.
But
Maybe they do.
this is not. What if this isn't just a crackhead off the street? The
Maybe they do.
issue that is anybody can get on Zillow, see previous
exactly
pictures of your
right.
house. So if we're talking to somebody who's targeting your home,
I just
that's
need
where
to kill
that's where
everyone that's ever been on Zillow.
Yeah.
Kidding. That was a joke.
Think about it. If
That
you're,
was a
if
joke,
you're-
guys.
Which is why I told that story earlier off air. If my dog sits up, I know that I may have 5 seconds on top of that.
Right.
So it's just like I would rather be wrong.
It's like
and
an
have my gun in
additional
hand.
line of, like,
Right.
well, let's go.
I would rather be wrong and have my gun in hand in an empty house
Yeah.
than think it's nothing and have somebody in my daughter's room.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You would rather be wrong and accidentally shoot like a tiny, like 2-inch mouse. Please come to my house and shoot those. Then yeah, like
7 seconds though, dude. Could
yeah.
you wake up out of the bed sleep?
7 seconds is like crazy.
Well, I'm not even coherent within
Have you seen some of the because we're doing self defense? I feel like this is like probably a conversation worth having because like
Hey guys, Purvcast, get in here. It's
Yeah.
self-defense pick 3.
pick 3. We're on firearms.
Self-defense.
Thank you, Ethan, for putting us back in our
Firearms.
place.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we are we're gonna run through this. We're having what do you call it? Foreplay.
Yeah.
It's foreplay.
Yeah.
For pick 3. Fire.
Well, we're all like kind of firearm aficionados. So like, of course, like we're talking about this on the break. We're talking about it before the break, before the podcast even started, texting about it. So like, yeah,
we're seeing who can blow the biggest hole in the ceiling, like with the firearm that's on their hip.
You've heard of a dock pop or a desk pop?
I thought you were talking about
a pod pop.
Yeah, pod pop.
We're talking about the Hancock movie.
Foot penis?
Hancock with Will Smith.
I know.
Mountaintop.
Foot penis. Yeah. Wait. Well, I don't know that I remember that.
Oh my goodness.
No, I remember the move. I don't remember the scene you're talking about because I remember. Yeah,
Hancock's great.
Hilarious, funny movie. But
so okay, there's a scene in the movie. It may be the extended or unrated version when she's on top of him, and he goes mountaintop. Mountaintop throws her off, and then his finish blows holes in his roof.
Oh, geez. Dude, I don't remember that, but that's hilarious.
Mountaintop. Yeah. He throws her off, and then, yeah.
So we've all been in here mountaintopping together.
I mountaintopped like 4 times. I just had my 4th kid, so.
You just fought.
All right. Guns.
Guns.
Boom, boom. But we're not talking about that. We're actually talking about guns. So.
Let's do it.
Finzo and I were just having a conversation about like it's not just firearms though. There's other aspects of, because this is what we're talking about today. It's like it's self-defense, right? It's not like in your home. He's talking about how his dog will alert in the middle of the night to anything that's kind of out of the ordinary, right? And that's the situation that you might find yourself in with an intruder, which he said a 7 seconds is the average reaction time a homeowner has from an intruder to being confronted with that intruder. And then but it's not just that. I mean, you've got castle law in a lot of states, which is like your vehicle or, your own person. Like I've always said, because this is how I was trained by the person that gave me my back in the day
CC.
Yeah, to get a concealed carry permit in Missouri, you had to be trained.
Yeah,
on that.
Go through a course and a class, and
so the guy that I got that trained us, that gave me my CCW, which I still carry my license in my wallet to this day, even though we're a constitutional carry state now. So good luck to anyone that wants to try it. But anyway, so that dude had a lot of really great information. And a lot of that was like, okay, this is when you can defend yourself. This is when you're going to be in some legal jeopardy on this. And the biggest thing for me that I took away from that was like, am I fearing for my life? Am I fearing for my family's life when I'm out?
Right.
Out. If someone comes into your vehicle or into your home in the state of Missouri, it's castle law. It's like, just like, it's fine. Now, if they're running away,
right?
Like,
if they turn,
like if they're still in your house and they turn, like they're done.
Yeah,
like, that still is good. But if they're like running away and like they're on, like, I have like 3 acres,
right? So, like if
they're on like my back 3rd acre.
So if you drop,
like, okay, that dude's dumb.
If
I
you
just
drop
pull out my AR and like
that's
drop
what
him
I was
down.
gonna say.
Yeah.
If you drop your Glock and the dude's like a mile away to pull out the freaking 300 Win Mag, and you're like, you ain't coming back here, buddy.
It's like, this is gonna be a great shot.
Yeah. All the law enforcement is like 2 things. First off,
great shot.
You're under arrest. Second off, great shot. That's what I'm gonna say.
Listen, if I ever pull off a shot like that, law enforcement's not getting called.
Well,
allegedly.
We have
allegedly.
We have a lot of coyotes on our property, so
right.
Allegedly.
And that dude did have a rat tail.
Anyway, I'm totally kidding about that, but seriously, that like there's a lot of nuance to self-defense. So we're talking about self-defense weapons. I was just trying to kind of open people's eyes to this is not just you laying in your bed, having an intruder coming in, and having to like defend yourself at 8 yards, right? There's a lot more to this.
Yeah.
So like that, the list that I'm going to give you on our pick 3 is including maybe some of that other stuff. And there's probably some things I left out actually, like a Barrett 50 cal, like, let's just say some shit really gets crazy over the next like 5 years and we're defending ourselves from jihadis or something. Like, all right,
Sir, why did you have to have a Barrett 50 cal? You don't understand how many mice have been running through my home. I just can't keep up with them.
I'm just blowing like 5-meter chunks in my wall every time I see a mouse. All right, let's do this.
Let's go. All right.
Here we go. All right, pick 3. Ready? My number 1, which is my first firearm that I ever purchased for self-defense. Specifically, I had hunting weapons before, is a Glock 19.
Okay.
It's about a 17-round mag, and a 9mm is maybe not as devastating as like a 40 or a 45 or even a 50 caliber. But you have a lot of rounds, right?
Oh yeah. At that many rounds, I guarantee you it's as devastating.
Yeah, like you probably put the person down that's doing some bad stuff. So
you can turn them into Swiss cheese, dude.
And let me tell you a story on the Glock 19.
Okay.
I actually was home invaded in my apartment in Springfield, Missouri.
Remember that.
On the south side. And these guys like broke the door down. There was no firearms in the house. 2 dudes come in there. One of them has a firearm. We were playing Halo at the time with like multiple of our friends.
Right.
And it turned into a melee.
For sure.
Like we were just like fighting them off with our fists. All these dudes playing Halo, and all of a sudden, here comes these 2 dudes.
Why didn't you just use the needler?
Gosh, I
dumb joke.
Yeah, no, I wish I had a needler. What an awesome self-defense weapon. Until they blow up, and it's like, well, there goes the apartment.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
But it would have been cool to see pink mist, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like 2 days after that happened, so I had to move out of the apartment. I was afraid they were going to come back.
Right.
And moved out of the apartment, and I went to Bass Pro, and I bought a Glock 19. But here's the thing: I had like a shotgun and like a hunting rifle and stuff like that. But I'm like, no, I need something that can defend myself against people. This is not something that was just like that. I'm just blowing smoke. Like I had a judgment against these guys from the state of Missouri.
Right.
The state of Missouri paid me $1,700 to pay me because I had to pay the apartment for the door that these guys shattered to pieces when they came into my apartment. Right. So like, this is a legit thing. Right.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And so like people always say like, oh, that's what the police are for. Do you think in the half a second that I had to respond to that,
right,
that anyone was calling the cops? Like, we did call the cops eventually.
But in that moment, you were the police.
But if they came in and started shooting us, there was no calling the cops. And even if we had,
no help.
Yeah.
It's not helping.
So, like, went out 2 days later, bought a Glock 19. But I've always been a huge Second Amendment guy, so that was easy for me.
For sure.
And when the people at Bass Pro asked me what I was buying it for, I was like, to kill those motherfuckers that broke into my house. I'm just kidding. But
you always answer but kill a mockingbird.
Right. But it makes you understand
the severity.
Yeah, like we do live in a fairly civil society, but you cannot trust the goodness of people, right?
Right.
And just go through it with this Pollyannish attitude. Like, that's just not going to work. And so I took control of my life, and that's when I got my Glock 19. 6 Hour P320, I think, is a great option as far as self-defense guns. Not a huge, crazy gun, but still kind of in that vein. the Mossberg 500 12 gauge or any 12 gauge. I will say this: a Mossberg can come in a lot of different variants. A Mossberg 500 12 gauge is pretty common, pretty cheap, and you could probably keep it by your bed, right?
Right.
And that's a great self-defense weapon. A Sig Sauer P365, pretty good. Probably a little bit bigger, maybe a little more bang than your P320. But let me tell you this. The Glock 19, my next one on the list is a Glock 43, okay? So I have a Glock 19 and a Glock 43.
Right.
My Glock 19 is a full-size 9mm. My Glock 43 is a different scenario in that self-defense, okay? So my Glock 43 is going to be what I keep in my right here.
Booty hole.
Right. Yeah, like right in my back right here. And like I've actually had my Glock 43 sitting on this table multiple times on the podcast just because like, I pull it out before I sit down. I don't feel like I'm going to get murdered in this room. So I just pull it out.
Hopefully not.
Right.
I don't know. He's leaving, maybe.
Like, right. We have to watch out. But, my Glock 43 is either in my truck or on my person at all times.
Right.
It is very low profile, so you can have it. And that's the whole thing. You're not always...
It's a single stack weapon, right?
Single stack is very low profile. The Glock 43 is like not great because it has very low capacity. The Glock 43X...
What is it, 8 plus 9 plus 1?
Glock 43X is like 12, right?
Oh.
The Glock 43 is like 6 plus 1.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Glock 43X is like double that.
Okay.
Without being double stacked. So it's very low profile stuff.
Yeah.
But you need to have those self-defense weapons. It's not just about when you're laying in your bed. It's about like going around at work, in your truck, when you're out with your family.
Right.
Does it 10 round? Okay, 10 round magazine. So that's like, 4 rounds more. To be honest with you, I have friends that have the 43X. I have just the 43.
Right.
I think it's awesome. But the is it Sig that has the almost the exact same thing with a 12 round? It's almost the exact same size as the Glock 43. 10 plus 1, 12 plus 1, and 15 plus 1 in their
17 plus 1.
Modified double stack, but we're like not really looking for double stack. We're looking for, I'd say low profile.
It's probably going to be the 10 plus 1.
The 10 plus 1.
They do have a 12 plus 1 and a 15 plus 1, but I'm not 100% sure. Like SIG, I don't know a whole ton about. My brother's a SIG guy. I know way more about Glocks.
We've got several friends. Ethan, I know you'll know him. I'm probably not going to call him out by name just because, plus they might not want to be named.
Right.
But
365 also has multiple different types now. You have macro, you have X macro take-ops, and X macro comp. So 365, like the original P365 was just a 10 plus 1, I believe.
Okay. Well, I think...
Would you say that your brother is down with the Cygnus?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
That's pretty good.
So the SIG, to be honest with you, they're when I say the Glock 43, that's like your kind of concealed carry.
Right.
Take it around with you, but the SIG has one
that's the junior version of
the Glock.
Your 19. Glock 19.
Yeah, and but SIG has one. I don't want to do disservice to SIG. SIG has one that's probably as good, as the 43X. Here you go. You ready for my favorite handgun of all time?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
An FN 57 or Palmetto State, the PSA 57.
Will you pull it up?
Why is that a self-defense consideration for you, Grant?
I'll tell you why it's a self-defense consideration for me. Everyone always assumes that the threat is going to be close, okay? Everyone always assumes that our society is going to go on. Man, maybe I shouldn't put this on the pod. I feel like this is going to put a target on me. But I'll just say this. Everybody thinks that our society is just going to be full of nice people, okay, with an occasional outlier,
Right.
okay? What happens when a different entity, government or otherwise, takes control of our society?
Well, then you have a lot of poor behavior people.
Yeah, right.
People that have no interest
Right. And so, like, instead of
in your well-being.
right, instead of me reacting to someone at 8 yards, I'm actually having to go like more on the offensive. Okay, like I have to be more like proactive. Like if I'm going to go out to go do something, and I know that these people are like watching me, trying to hurt me or my family, I have to be ready from a much longer distance.
Right.
Not 10 yards. I have to be ready from 100 yards. Okay? And I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but a 5.7, if you've ever shot a 5.7, it's absolutely incredible. It's 100 yards dead center with a handgun every time. There's no more accurate handgun in the world. Now, I would not shoot that inside my house, because of the penetration factor.
Right.
It's a ballistic round.
Yeah.
It's like a AR round. Okay. So like I'm going to use my 9mm there. But when I have threats that are outside that zone of like a 9mm, because I'll just tell you this right now, you know what? I don't want to hurt someone that's not a threat to me at 20 to 30 yards.
For sure, yeah.
That's the maximum distance I'm going to discharge my 9mm.
Right.
If I know there's a threat beyond that, I have confidence I can hit them with a 5.7, okay?
Right.
And not hit an innocent bystander. A 9mm is crazy after 30 yards. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah,
you can say you're awesome at shooting a target beyond 30 yards with a 9mm, but that bullet's going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
It's not designed for long distance.
For sure.
Like the 5.7 pistol that I have is designed for long distance. So
Okay.
I want both options.
Nice.
That's why I like the 5.7 as a self-defense. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, anyway, I'm running. Weatherby 12 gauge. I love that shotgun. Shotguns are great for self-defense. Weatherby is what I have in my house that's ready to go. Don't mess with us. Don't mess with my family. You might have some Weatherby action in your future. Black Rain AR. Black Rain AR is what I have. I love Black Rain. They are an absolutely awesome company out of Neosho, Missouri. If you've never heard of them, you need to go get one right now. And some of the most beautiful Cerakote dipped, help me out here, Pifty.
Anodized
barrel.
It's not a barrel. It's the
rail.
rail.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah, don't point at him and say thank you, dude. That was totally me.
No, thank you, Ethan. They have the most beautiful Cerakote rails, like whatever paint scheme and Cerakote you want, like absolutely awesome. Black Rain, I cannot say enough about Black Rain AR. And I have an infrared ACOG. I've got multiple different modes on my scope. I've got AR. I've got I've actually got two different scopes. I got a flip up, so you've got the ACOG, but then you can go to just the regular Magpul sights. So
Nice.
absolutely love Black Rain. Black Rain is amazing. If you live,
Dig your Black Rain. Yeah, I've messed with it.
live in you've shot it.
Yep.
And then the H&K VP9. I think that as far as I wanted to list one other 9mm that I do not have not shot. Most of those on that list I have, but that's probably like if I had to buy another gun right now, as far as a 9mm pistol, I'd get an H&K VP9. I think it's great. It's also got a lot of good sight options with like the red dots,
Right.
the holographics, all that. Like probably it lends itself the best to sights for a pistol. So
Okay. Sweet.
there you go, man. There's a long list, but like self-defense to me is like kind of that's a touchy issue. I felt like I had a lot to cover, so there you go.
That's a very important portion of this.
I mean,
thing.
Second Amendment. You can't get
Right.
any more like close to home.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna try to move fairly quick here, so that we can all hang with the fam for a minute.
You bet.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go number one, and I have to make a little change.
All right.
Okay, you've got two 12 gauges up there,
Yeah.
and actually, I guess I would be down with either one of those.
I guess
However,
whatever
I do
12
like-
gauge, whatever 12 gauge you want to use.
I've got a Stoger
Okay.
12 gauge
All right.
that is semi-automatic,
Yeah.
will hold 8 rounds,
Yeah.
and it's made by Benelli. If I had to say, what do I actually want? I want to have Benelli. I want the gun I have just made by, but just
So you want
Benelli
a 12,
brand.
So you want a 12 gauge, which there's 2 of them up there. So you want a 12 gauge, and you just want like the brand you have, and
semi-automatic.
right.
And I want to have, got the plug out, 8 rounds. Here's the thing, dude. In a dark home, when I'm jumping up, I have the most confidence. If I'm certain that it's an intruder, I have the most confidence using that shotgun.
Yeah.
Who the hell cares if I destroy my door frame or whatever it
Sure.
is? If that douchebag goes down, then, that I'm good with that.
Yeah, and
You know.
more than likely, with a 12 gauge in your own home, if you have to engage an intruder and you have sleeping kids in the next room, the drywall and the studs are probably going to stop most of the lethal threat to that next room.
For sure.
If you're
going to have the most
right,
lethal threat
right
and
where you need it,
right here, yeah.
like with a 5.7 in the same environment. If you miss,
Yeah.
it's gonna go right through that
And into your neighbor's house.
and into your sleeping kid's bedroom or whatever.
sure.
So like,
Yeah.
it's all about like the right tool for the right environment.
That's right. Yeah. So within my home, I feel like the right weapon is a 12 gauge shotgun, preferably semi-automatic, so that I can, just do the business
Just
that I
don't
need
really
to do.
feel too good with jacking off rounds.
No, that's never been me so much. I've more.
I hope the camera was on me when I was doing it. All right, go ahead, man. So number 1, 12 gauge. So that was that number 3. I know how we do this. We do like 3,
yeah,
2,
dadgummit,
1.
I kind of messed it up. I think that's
That's
gonna be
number 1.
Yeah.
All right, so let's back it up.
All right.
Go to 3.
Number 3. Here's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
I'm gonna do Black Raiden Ordnance AR. Okay.
That's a good choice, man.
Love your gun. It's got the.
I think Black Rain needs to be a sponsor of the show. They're basically local.
I'm gonna tag them.
Yeah.
In this whole portion of it.
I love them. They do a great job.
I think that at some point, like self-defense will also become self-preservation,
Self-offense.
maybe preservation for your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether that, so it, that's
it's
not the gun.
naive to think that it's not going to be that at some point.
Absolutely,
Right?
yeah.
Whether it's an invading force or a, what do they call? What did
Domestic,
our founding fathers call it?
foreign or domestic.
Right. But our founding fathers had a name for what they ran away from.
Oh, tyranny.
Tyranny.
Yeah.
Right? So it's either going to be like a foreign invader or
tyranny.
tyrannical rule.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, and for us to say this on this podcast, some people will be like, "Oh wow, you're threatening the government." No. We, the people, have a constitutional right that was established by the forefathers
to prepare.
to stop or remove a tyranny, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's not in any way outside of the bounds.
No.
That is what we are constitutionally obligated to do as citizens of this country.
As per-
So to say that we have firearms that are capable of doing that is exactly in keeping with what our founding fathers laid out.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and not to,
am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And here's the thing, dude. Here's why a weapon like, say an AR-15, Black Rain, or wherever you might get it. Hopefully, Black Rain. Let's talk. But here's the thing: is if you're in a tyrannical situation, what that might mean is long before it's ever a physical threat to you or your family, is now a nutritional threat. Or things of this nature where
your health care.
Remember the stores during COVID? You couldn't get things you needed to have.
If you weren't a liberal, you couldn't get toilet paper.
That's right. Yeah, they're
I'm
like,
just kidding.
who'd you vote for? But the thing is, having a weapon like that, which is not the ideal weapon for maybe killing something that could serve as sustenance for your family, the AR can do that. It can make that happen.
So, like, get that back up there. So, like, anytime any form of government becomes destructive to the preservation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, am I wrong? Then these to these ends, that's what it says.
Right.
It is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. Okay.
Yep.
In political philosophy, the right of revolution,
I was waiting for you, Pip.
Of rebellion, is the right or duty of a people to alter or abolish a government that acts against their common interest or threatens the safety of the people without justifiable cause. The problem is our government is very good at creating justifiable cause.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yep. All right. So then the next time that justifiable cause rolls up, and then the grocery stores don't have what you need because you're completely dependent on it, and you've got to provide a meal for your family. Hey, you might need that AR because, all right, I live in this neighborhood right here, right? And there are deer that walk through here all the freaking time. There you go.
It's not just
sustain your family.
Yeah, it's not self-defense, but it's also self-sustainment.
Self-preservation, yeah.
But I will say this, though. There's this idea, and I don't know who started it in this country, that only hunting firearms are okay.
Right.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard a senator or a congressman say,
the government loves you, you dingus. Don't you know that they...
Yeah, they're like so,
you're their baby, dude.
Like, they want to know how can this be used in a hunting practice? That's their every time.
That's it.
Every time a gun comes up in conversation before the house or whatever, they're like, "Well, is this a hunting gun?" It's like, okay, I got it. We have to have our hunting guns, but just remember, that's not the only guns that our founding fathers said that we have the right to.
No, it was
like there was clearly a delineation here that governments get crazy. Governments do things, and we need to be able to defend ourselves. And I'm sorry, like, if you don't like that if that sounds terrible, I'm sorry. Go back and read the Constitution. Look at our founding documents. That's just how it was written up.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man.
Anyway, moving on.
The other one I'm going to
jump
just
to. Like shaking his head over there. He agrees, but
Pifty's going, I miss my family.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pifty. What are we down to?
With my last one, I'm going to go.
So you got the Black Rain AR. You got number 2. We already know you're number 1.
Yeah. Number 2, I'm going to go Glock 43.
Okay.
And here's the thing. I think that with that kind of coverage, with the Black Rain AR, Glock 43.
That's super close.
And the shotgun, like, I have all the bases covered.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, we've already done hunting. We've already done hunting.
It sounds to me like you're going into a Call of Duty match. You got your
no doubt.
You got your long range, you got your mid range, you got your super up close.
For sure. For sure. And we've already done deer hunting, so I'm obviously, this
absolutely.
For that, I have every proximity covered that I feel like I might need to.
And just to reiterate, your number 1 was one more time.
12 gauge shotgun.
Okay.
Preferably semi-automatic. That's what I would.
And your plus 1 out of that list.
And my plus one is going to be a semi-automatic 12-gauge shotgun.
Dude, that was your number one.
And I know. That's funny.
So it's just.
Now, I'm going to go, honestly, man, out of ignorance, I don't, like, I know SIG's a good brand, but.
You should say a 5.7. Just
Man,
do whatever you
I
want to
think
do.
I'm going to go with a effing 5.7, you know? I don't know much. I'm not as well educated on these topics as I should be, honestly.
I think the 5.7 is.
But you're telling me a handgun at 100 yards?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
And it gives you confidence.
Right.
Like the 9mm, if you're drawing down on somebody that you know is a threat and they're at 40 yards,
You're in.
and there's other situations around that, right? I don't feel confident taking that shot, even if my life is in danger.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I don't want to endanger someone else's life.
For sure.
And I know that bullet tumbles at 40 yards. That's a long way.
Absolutely.
5.7, I'm pulling the trigger.
All right,
Because
well,
I know where it's going. I know where that bullet's going.
take your word for it. I'll go 5.7.
Now, you might have to put 13 rounds, but
Yeah.
it's a small round. But all right. What are we waiting for? Me?
Yeah.
All right.
What you got, dog?
I'll give you my pick 3. So my number 3, excuse me. My number 3 would be the Glock 19. That, like I said, was first self-defense gun that I bought, first handgun that I bought. I'm extremely comfortable with it. I think it's very versatile. Good gun. 9mm is good. My number 2 is going to be probably unquestionably the Weatherby 12 gauge, just because that's I feel like if I had to just absolutely stop an intruder in my house, I think my 12 gauge with some nice shot in there would get it done.
Yep.
And it's also very quick at hand. So don't come in my house unless you want to get filled up with some buckshot.
Ooh, sounds hot.
I mean, not like that, bro. I am gonna put and this is gonna be crazy.
Super gay?
No,
No.
it's not like super gay or anything, but I'm gonna put my 5.7. My 5.7 is my number 1.
Nice.
And I'll tell you why. It's just the more we go into our society, and I love people, I really do. I love everyone, and I don't hate anybody, but I distrust the direction that I see our government and our society going. I see the ultra elites moving us into this like utopia that they want everybody to buy into, and then all of a sudden, the first thing goes wrong. No power, no water, no food. Everybody's all of a sudden just like predatory.
For sure.
Okay? And I believe that is real.
Yep.
And I'm not stupid. I'm not going to be an innocent bystander to that. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready at 10 yards. I'm going to be ready at 20 yards. I'm going to be ready at 50 yards. I'm going to be ready at 100 yards with a handgun. And that's an FN 5.7. And then my plus 1 is going to be the one is strapped on my body every single day. It doesn't matter if you encounter me on the mower out in the middle of the James River while I'm fishing with my
Glock
kids.
69.
Glock 43. It's going to be there. Don't mess with me. It's going to be there. Just don't. Just back up, dude. Like, I don't want to shoot you. I
Like on Pineapple Express.
I like you mostly. Just don't.
Don't.
Yeah.
Hey. Don't.
Yeah. And the only reason it's my plus 1 instead of in my top 3, it's got a small capacity. But if you're that close, I don't need that many shots.
No. You're going to be all right.
Just saying.
Yep.
I don't need that many shots, man. You'll
No
stop.
doubt, dude. So that's pick 3. That doesn't quite conclude this series. We've got one more off of this pick 3, firearms. That was pretty incredible. I felt like a little bit of an idiot because I'm not as well educated these dudes on this topic.
We need to put Jeff's out here too.
Yeah, give me Jeff's.
Throw up Jeff's. Oh, we need to hear Pifty's real quick too.
Yeah, and so
then
so our listener that is like super engaged with the firearm topic,
Right.
I feel so grateful to him for sending this to us. His top 3 on self-defense. Thank you, Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
My name is Jeff. His number 3, he said saber mace. Okay, so that kind of screwed the pooch on that on the number 3 because we're talking firearms only here, but that's okay.
Okay.
So he said mace was his number 3. He said number 2.
Oh, he was thinking defense in general.
Just right.
Yeah,
But
okay.
we're
Okay.
literally only on firearms. So
For sure,
but that's
yeah.
okay. Like we appreciate you like saying like that would be your number 3. So that's
0 for 1, but cool, man. Thanks,
Yeah.
dog.
number 2 is his I'm sure GX4 Taurus 9mm. So his GX4 Taurus 9mm, that's probably similar to your 9mm, my 9mm, like, you know, just it's a good self-defense handgun.
Yep.
Thank you, Jeff. And then his number 1, which is very similar to what we have on a lot of ours, is his Mossberg 512 gauge,
Nice.
right? So, you know, like I feel like there's a consensus that like that shotgun in the home is a really good deterrent, right?
Absolutely.
So that's his. And then he said, and this is pretty, you'll get a kick out of this.
Okay.
So he gave us 3 +1s, right? So he gave
Nice.
his number 1 +1 is his dog. Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
I know
get that.
I know Pifty was talking about that as well.
Yep.
And so that's very good. And actually, I want to hear Pifty's pick 3 on this. So I won't spend too much time on that. But his number 1 +1 was his dog. His number 2 +1 is his blink camera that whistles at people.
Oh, the deter mode is hilarious. Oh, I got to find this video and put it up.
I know
I have one
I-
where my camera
yes.
whistled at my
Yeah.
neighbor.
I know exactly what
And
you're
at
talking about.
midnight when she was putting the trash can back, and it goes,
Yeah.
and she just goes,
Yeah.
I mean, hilarious, dude.
it's so
I
good.
got to find it.
Just remember that we're talking about
Home defense.
yeah, home defense, but it's at shitty fart butt. And,
Yeah.
and then his number 3 +1 was motion sensor lights. So
Nice.
I feel like all 3 of those are good deterrents, you know.
Yeah.
But his pick 3 on self defense, I thought pretty good. So thank you, Jeff, for submitting that to us.
Absolutely, yeah. Hey, I can sympathize, or I relate. I get what you're talking about with the dog. We used to have 2 Belgian Malinois, and I never felt more confident going to bed or my wife being home alone than when we had those 2 dogs, because I knew that you remember them.
Oh,
if
man.
you had come inside
Yeah,
and you weren't supposed to
ready
be there,
rip you up, dude.
yeah, they would do what they're bred to do, and they would rip your flesh apart. So I was confident with that. Well, then whenever we had
Babies.
our baby, then it was like they were so defensive to each other of this baby that I'm like, they're going to be ripping the wrong flesh apart, and then I'm going to be dismembering them piece by piece because of what they did.
Right.
So they had to go bye-bye and go be rescue dogs, and one of them did anyway, do cool stuff.
But they're
I
still
get,
out in your yard to deter any like haters of the podcast. Wink, wink. Right.
that's right. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're out there and they're hungry.
He doesn't feed him anymore, guys.
Yeah, haven't for
Sorry, allegedly.
4 years.
All right. Pifty.
But I dig it. Let's go,
What do you
dog.
got? Self defense, brother.
All right, mine's very simple. My AR is a number 3, so I'll
Okay.
just pick the Black Rain AR as number 3 because I'm going to go off the list.
Okay.
My Mossberg 512 gauge is my number 2, and then Glock 19 is my number 1. So
Nice.
for me, self-defense is a lot like you talked about. It has to be about versatility.
Right.
I would have zero problem shooting an AR close quarters, but you're dealing with a lot of penetration and a lot of supersonic rounds. 12 gauge is great, very versatile, but I think
If you know 100% that you're putting that bullet through the target you intend, whatever. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're unconfident, not confident with that,
If I'm not confident, I'm going to use 12 gauge.
Yeah.
But inside the home for me, and my self defense outside,
Right.
it's 9mm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Just because I just see it as the most versatile round. But once again, I'm not reaching out to 100 yards with it. That's because that's why I have an AR.
Right.
But that's just my personally, and my plus one would be a good alert system. So like whether it's your alarm system, which is not a firearm, I know.
Or dog.
It could be a dog, could be an alarm system.
You
could
got
be
a good
somebody who
dog for
sleeps
that?
light.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, so I'll tell this story. I'm not going to mention the dog name, so we'll bleep it out later if I do. But my dog is a very kind dog, and my daughter was a year ago, so she was 2 years old, and she is holding the leash. And so my daughter weighs 20 pounds, something at the time, and she's holding the leash for this 70-pound dog at the end of our driveway, so by the sidewalk. And they're just out there just chilling. And Sydney's just kind of walking around. Dang it. The dog's just walking around her.
I thought you said it was
my wife
Tiffany.
my wife and I are sitting back by the garage, and we see our dog just look towards like one end of the street and just like get up off its hindquarters and just like go into like dragon hair mode, where all the hair down the back is just stood up.
Yeah.
Not moving, not pulling on the leash. Just standing there like in straight pointer mode. So I can't see because my truck is parked in front of like where she's looking. So I just stand up and I look over the truck, and about 15, 20 yards down the sidewalk is this middle-aged adult male. And he is stopped dead in his tracks, knowing that there's no way that my 2-year-old could hold on to that leash if he gets any closer to her.
Yeah.
And like I just stood up and I walked to the end of the driveway. Hey, how's it going? And I grabbed the leash and for the dog, and he just kept on going on his way and just had his whole merry time. But those type of things, I feel like no security system can pay for that.
Yeah.
No,
That's awesome.
no security system can give you that type of loyalty and immediate response to more than just auditory or sound threats. Dogs have been many times to give alert for smell or feel.
Imagine had that been the case for like Haley Owens or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know the circumstance there, but I can say this: if there had been a huge dog
Looking out for that girl.
yeah, right beside her, and that predator comes up, that's a different story.
Yeah.
I feel so much more confident with my wife going for a run if she takes the dog.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, when Tegan, my daughter, goes out in the backyard by herself, hey, take the dog.
Yeah.
Even though we have a fully enclosed privacy fence, hey, take the dog.
Well, you can't.
It's not just for human threats,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Sure.
Snakes,
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
other animals,
Other dogs.
other dogs. Like,
Yeah.
my dog has gotten in fights with other dogs, because she felt like it was a threat to her human.
And you can't train, a child of that age to operate a firearm safely. But that dog,
You can train the
can
dog.
be there, right?
Yeah.
So like I fully agree with you on that.
Yeah,
That's good.
If my plus one's not a human or not a firearm, but I don't think you can trade a good high quality alert system, because like we talked about earlier, 7 seconds
Yeah.
is not that long. So
That's crazy. I just can't believe it's that fast.
The soonest you can get alert to
Yeah.
wake yourself out of a deep sleep, to recognize the situation, to
Yeah.
realize that you need to get your firearm.
Right.
That should also tell you this, like if your self-defense firearm is not aircraft loaded, it means there's not one in the barrel.
Right.
You're telling me that you're going to have the wherewithal to rack around? Like, if you ever watched that TV show with...
You're going to end up pulling it up and
Justified?
going click.
You ever seen Justified with Timothy Oliphant? The very first pilot episode, the dude is loading his shotgun, right? And the sheriff, or the marshal, Timothy Oliphant's character, is walking out of the house, and his gun is in his holster. And this dude is, like, the bad guy's racking rounds into this shotgun because it's unloaded. And he goes, like, he pulls it up. He pointed at the U.S. Marshal, but there's not one in the chamber. And he goes, you think you can rack around before I put a hole through you? So it's just like, if your self-defense round, if your self-defense gun, whatever it is.
That's a great show, by the way.
Isn't ready.
If your AR is
Justified.
loaded, Right,
Is it
and it's justified. Yeah.
Yeah.
If your AR
seen it.
doesn't have one in the chamber,
good. You
if
should
it's your self-defense round, if your shotgun doesn't have one in the chamber,
Right.
if your Glock 43, or for me it's a different carry gun, or my Glock style clone at home, if it doesn't have one in the chamber, do I have enough time to rack it?
I usually
Not from waking up and between. No, that's more than 7 seconds for me.
I mean, I guess the difference on that question would be, is it the deterrence of pointing a gun at someone's face or being ready to kill them? Right. Like, do you need to kill them?
Yeah.
Or is the deterrence enough? Because if
According
raising...
to Joe Biden, you just shoot a double-barrel shotgun up into the air and waste both of your rounds, and an intruder runs away.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Biden's a fucking retard, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, what does he know? But seriously, I'm talking about
I'm with you.
in the real life. Joe Biden doesn't exist in the real life. We do. Okay, so we're going to talk about real life.
That's right. Speaking of real life, I've got one joke. I'm going to give you one joke. I want you to guess.
All right.
This is going to close us out because I think we need to wrap.
I can't wait. I do want to say though, firearms though, awesome that we all understand the importance of that. Second Amendment, super important. And on the idea of it, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't think that firearms are important other than for hunting, because that's what we've always heard, right? Like, just think about, what do you do when you have somebody that is presenting imminent danger to you and you've called the cops and now what?
I'll say it this way,
I'm
and I
just gonna
think
put it
this
that
is a way better way to say it than what you just said, because that sounds stupid as hell. I'm kidding. What do you do, right? So guns are for hunting. What do you do when you're hunting immediate safety and hunting immediate protection?
I like it.
You got to have something.
Yeah.
You got to have something,
And a phone.
Sorry for the insult, too.
And a phone and calling the cops. Like,
Yeah. F that noise. My phone doesn't have reception half.
When,
Yeah,
when EMS is minutes away, seconds matter.
mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
1 second.
that's awesome.
Half
Anyway,
a second.
I wanted to finish that out, but go ahead.
For sure.
Give me the joke, because we need some levity after that.
Yeah, we gotta biz ounce out, dude.
Yeah, give it to me.
Good time, lots of fun had by all, I believe. All right, Grant.
It's been good to be back with y'all, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Guess the punchline.
All right.
Nice, dude. I'm telling you, this guy's a stud. We're gonna miss him so bad, dude.
I can't wait to do some more guess the punchline. I know we're like way out of time, but like I'll do one.
Okay. All right, we'll each
I'm ready.
do one. Okay.
All right.
All right. What's a horny pirate's worst nightmare? What is a horny pirate's worst nightmare?
I heard you.
So what's a horny pirate's worst nightmare? Let me say it this way. So there's a pirate, right?
Give the brother a chance, Ethan. Jeez.
A horny pirate.
Mm-hmm. And his worst nightmare.
A one-eyed paid leg? Sounds terrible to me.
Peg leg?
Peg leg.
A one-eyed
A
peg
one-eyed
leg?
peg leg.
Oh. No, that'd probably be a welcome sight, dude, because they're like, "Arr, you look like me, another tard."
Oh, yeah, and they can just like pull their eye socket out or pull their eye patch out.
They're
Got an extra hole. That's what All right, what you got, bro?
oh, dang, dude. That's actually,
I mean,
that's funny.
I was trying to make it work.
And they just do this. They just go like, look, they just go, options. More options.
This is not my worst nightmare anymore.
Yeah, for sure. This is my greatest dream.
You just went from my worst nightmare to my best friend.
Sure. All right, dude. A horny pirate's worst nightmare is a sunken chest and no booty.
Oh, that's pretty good. A sunken chest. Wow.
Sunken
Yeah.
chest and no booty.
But can I just ask a question?
No.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you were a horny pirate, would you care
I don't think so.
if she had a sunken chest and no booty? No, because you're a horny pirate. You're going, man.
Sure, dude.
Invalidated.
For any hole possible.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Let's go.
That was great.
Thank you.
All right. You did a.
I literally just want to do full episodes of this joke stuff. This is so much fun.
I love the jokes. You've been very, very good.
Sweet.
So I saved a bunch on my phone,
Right.
trying to decide which one I want to do.
See, I wrote a whole bunch. I wrote all these.
You wrote them.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me another one?
I don't believe that.
Just right off the top.
No, because most of the other ones are off the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right,
I'll give you one.
let's get it.
Did you hear that Eric Purvis with Kinko Construction stopped doing construction? Yeah, he's writing a book. You know what the book's about?
Quitting construction?
By the way, this joke is sponsored by Kinko Construction.
Yeah.
No. He's writing a book. Do you know what it's about? He's a construction guy. What do you think he's writing a book about?
How to frame a story.
Actually, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I feel like we should just leave it with that. But no, that is not true.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, because he's writing it.
He's still working on it. Ha! It's under construction.
Under construction. Got me, dude.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Framing a story, I think, it's pretty good.
Framing a story is very good. I liked it.
It's pretty good. I dig that a lot, dude.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we're done.
We're done.
I love you,
We
dude.
are done. Love you too, bro.
Hey,
What's up?
50. Good to have you back, bro. For the last few.
Yeah. For this short amount of time, it's going to be sick. Let's go heavy jokes next time. You guys down?
Absolutely.
Glass Lotus.
Go Royals.
Go Royals.
I've been wanting to say that all
Go
pod.
Patch and Deers. That's right. Yeah, they finally good. Deuces.
Well, I talk shit on them like at the beginning of the season.
Well, it's the only way to... What does Jackson always say? Trash.
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 Trash. And then they turn out to be good.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's all it takes.
Way she goes, dude.
Hey, peace.
Way she goes. Peace.